Before you create that marketing plan as a financial planner, I want you to stop and listen to this video. See, today I want to share with you why most marketing plans fail financial planners and why so many financial planners leave their business and go back working for someone else or leaving the industry altogether. So today I want to try and debunk some of those issues that you're having out there, why you fail with most of them, and also give you an insight into what I've learned over the last 5 years working with financial planners. I'm going to be sharing with you also some of the secrets my clients have used to grow and scale their business. I have one client in particular doing 6 figures a month, and they started with me at just $15,000 a month. So let's get into it, and I want to give you everything it is. Just before I go ahead and say, this is Christmas time, so this is why I've got my Christmas jumper on. And why this is important is I know that a lot of financial planners at this time of year will take time out to work on their business. They're going to try and come up with the strategies. They're going to probably get onto YouTube. They're going to go onto social media. They're going to read books. They're going to get onto podcasts. They're going to do all these different things to try and consume a lot of information, to try and work out what is the best strategy and how to, implement that in the new year. The challenge with a lot of the stuff is we get so overwhelmed with what we need to do, we get confused. And what ends up happening is we end up just following everyone else, what everyone else is doing. The sheep is what I like to call it. We follow the sheep and just really don't go against anything else. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that I see with a lot of financial planners is that they just follow everyone else. They're running ads, but very generic ads. They're putting content out there, but they're not getting the engagement. And they're just chasing the wrong kind of things. And what I mean by wrong kind of things is like they're chasing likes, they're chasing followers, they're chasing comments, they're spending so much time engaging with the wrong type of people. And let's face it, you know what I mean by this is that when you put a post on LinkedIn, you're going to get 15, 20 financial planners all making the same comments. And you kind of go like, hey, okay, cool, it's great, but this content wasn't for you. So today, let me help you overcome some of these things and share with you some deep insights into some of my clients' best results and how they've been able to achieve that. I think this is going to give you a really a step in the right direction. While I've made some notes here, I'm just really going to free flow today because I don't know how long this video is going to go for, but I just want to give you as much as I can so you can just basically make some notes out of it. If anything, you can download the PDF that I've got here prepared for you, and just to get yourself on the right foot. Because I know that when you get on the right roadmap and you follow the right roadmap, like you do with your plans, and you implement them with confidence and belief, then you're gonna start growing that business with confidence. That is like so cool when clients make that transformation to, hey, I've got that ability to make things work. It's all working for me. I'm getting consistent leads, consistent clients, and it really comes down to how do I build that belief and trust as soon as possible. So let's get into it, and I want to talk about the first big problem. So the first problem with a lot of marketing plans is that they're set on goals and visions that are beyond the knowledge and skill set of the financial planner. Now, what I mean by that is that if you go talk to a marketing agency or you talk to a marketing expert, they're going to provide you with this marketing plan. Hey, this is everything you need to do. Go ahead. We can help you implement it, or you can do it yourself. Now, I love DIY stuff, right? But given the right tools and resources, but also matching that up with the right skills. Now, if people and financial planners don't have the skills or knowledge, then there's a gap. And this is where most people get it wrong. They get the plan because of that knowledge gap, that skills gap. They don't implement it. They get overwhelmed. They get confused, like I mentioned earlier, and nothing ends up happening. And so all of a sudden, in April, they're wondering and scratching their head, why is this not working for me? And to me, it's that exact reason. It's because you're not equipped with the skills you need to grow. Don't get me wrong. We all want to stretch yourself slightly, and that's the only way we're going to grow, right? But you got to be given the right tools and skills and knowledge in order to make that next step. I always talk about with my clients, it's not about stepping out of your comfort zone, it's expanding your comfort zone. So the more we expand and expand and expand every day, every month, every year, we're just going to get better and better in life and in business. So the first thing is, by the way, I've just made a couple of notes here. I don't want to miss anything out here. So I do want to give you as much as I can. Is what you need to do is work out if what are those goals that you want to achieve. Then what you need to do is what are the activities you need to do in order to achieve those goals? And then with those activities, what are the skills you need? Now, um, most of the time, that stops, like I said, a lot of financial planners is when they don't hit goals is because of the bottleneck in their business, which is generally themselves. They have this kind of um, a lack of trust. They have a scarcity mindset, and they're really unwilling to kind of expand their comfort zone. So, what you want to do is really work on a few key skills in order to get that confidence, in order to believe in yourself, and to trust yourself in growing the business and taking it to the next level. There's three core skills that I want to give you. One is you need to know how to run ads by yourself. Now, what I mean by that, when you run ads, especially on social media, it's one of the cheapest times to run ads. But the best thing about running those ads is it creates awareness. When people are aware of you, which is like top of the funnel. I don't like talking about funnels, but think of it like this, the top of the funnel. They get to know who you are, what type of problems you solve. And that is really, really important to get their attention. And knowing how to run those ads is really simple, but a lot of people make mistakes along the way. Like they either invest too much, wrong targeting, wrong text on the ad, wrong type of video. And so, with all these different things and all these different components in different ways, this is why they get it so wrong. So, you want to learn how to run those ads. And don't get me wrong, yes, I offer and teach my clients how to do that, but you want to be able to get that skill up front, right? The things that I'm to share with you now isn't for you for today and tomorrow. It's actually for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now when you can use these skills and come back to it day after day to get the clients you want and to grow the business you want. Second thing you want to be doing is learn how to create content. Now, one is how to write content and record videos. We are in the AI age, right? Trust is at an all-time low, so we need to try and build trust. Now, a lot of you are using ChatGPT, and I see some of the leaders in our industry as financial planners using it and putting content out there. And it's such fakeness about the whole thing. But let's not talk about that right now. But they just so quickly wanting to use AI or use automated tools in order to create this content or even outsource the content to someone else. And I just think that's just not the way about doing it. Like that to me is manipulation. And I'm all about creating authenticity and working with real clients. That's what it's all about. And I'm sure your audience out there wants to do the same thing. So you want to know how to create content. And just so you know, I've taken clients that have been super nervous, petrified, to be honest with you, getting in front of the camera, giving them the right scripts, the right tools, and making it really simple to record their first video, the second video, and then the third video. All of a sudden gives them the confidence. I've got a client who, like I said, petrified, getting in front of the camera. Now she is recording one video a day and sharing it in the most authentic way, most real way. Some of the content's like 30 seconds, some of the content's 90 seconds. And she's even doing what I call long form video on YouTube to actually draw in the right type of client. And she's killing it right now with results. The third skill you want to learn is how to have conversations. Now, I know this sounds simple, but knowing how to have conversations in the DM. So using your mobile phone, whether it's Facebook Messenger, Instagram, LinkedIn, or even WhatsApp for that matter, is knowing how to have conversations. And the key part of it is knowing how to have outbound conversations. So starting the conversation with someone, but also at the same time, having people raise their hand and have the conversation started by them with you. So each of them requires very specific strategies and skills in order to have those conversations. The one thing you'll know about me is that in order to grow your business, in order to get cash flow, in order to get clients, in order to get calendar bookings, it needs to start with conversations. And I will always talk about conversations in a lot of my content and a lot of the strategies that I talk about is because conversations just leads to so much opportunities for you. One, you may not get clients straight away, but cash flow will follow. You'll build a community around you, which to me is one of the most important things. This is why I called my actual program 5 years ago, the community traffic method, is because that's what it's all about. You build a community around you, you build up your voice, you make yourself the niche so you attract the right type of people. Those conversations start. And when you start those conversations in that community, people are attracted to it, they see your way of doing things, and they're more likely to use your services. So they're the three skills that I want to talk to you about. Excuse me for a second. That's some black coffee. um, Second big problem is that finding your voice. When you find your voice, you are your true, unapologetic, purposeful voice. You start to attract the right type of clients. And the best thing about it is you feel so much easier getting content out there. See, marketing is hard when they're using manipulation. The message doesn't align, the audience is disconnected, you seem to be chasing and really hustling and struggling to get clients, and it feels hard work. But if you remove that manipulation in your marketing and you really become you, everything changes. And what I mean by you is that you are showing up, not trying to be everything to everyone. You're showing up to solve one problem to one person, and you're confident in getting that person a result. Like that to me is why most people hide away from getting their voice on camera, getting in front of it, sharing content, is because they try to grab content by following all the other people out there. They're worried what everyone else is thinking out there. I mean, one of the exercises I get my clients to do is really write down all their limiting beliefs and then put it on a piece of paper, and then we burn it. One of my clients just did that recently, which is super exciting. And he just said to me, it just felt relieving when you can let go of those limiting beliefs and you really just become who you really want to be. And that gives you strength internally, which then comes out, and then you're able to help serve more people and have greater impact. Um, so when you get this right, you get your voice out there. And by the way, I've had another client who used to always hide by just giving just generic financial planning content. I'll admit that, and even she will as well. To really creating content around who she is, and so she's even the music she shares, and even the way her hair's done, and the way she dresses, everything now is in alignment. And this is what is working. When that is in alignment, that who you are with your audience and your message is aligned with exactly who you're wanting to be, you start attracting the right type of clients. Like you'll be more inspired, you'll be more motivated to get yourself out there. You'll move from having a scarcity mindset to more of an abundant mindset. And everything starts to work together. Your words, your actions align. You get to connect with the right type of people. And that to me is where true marketing really stands out. And I'm the first person to admit that I used to do that manipulation marketing years ago. And then when I said, fuck it, I just want to be myself, excuse my language, that's when I realized that, I can be my best version by being who I am and help serve the type of clients that I want to serve, at the same time, attract the right type of people who follow me. Now, I've had clients that follow me for 2, 3 years and have come on board. Some have been a little bit quicker than others, and that's cool. But the more and more I get myself out there, much more confident than what I used to be. I used to have massive imposter syndrome. Used to always worry how people perceived me on camera, what my friends would think. I had all those different things. And until I just said, you know what, stuff it. I'm just going to get out there and just be who I am. And I'm going to teach it to my clients. Everything changed. And I'm so glad I did. The third big problem that I see with a lot of marketing plans is overloading. We are in the world of overload, information overload. We get overwhelmed, we get confused, and that whole process leads to no action at all. So it's what I see a lot of financial planners do is they'll get onto, YouTube, podcasts, SEO, running, reading books, all these different things over the holidays. They're reading, but they're not and consuming, but they're not actually implementing. And that to me is just a waste of time. Like I have this rule of 72 hours. If I learn something, I need to implement it within 72 hours, or it's just a waste of time. And so it's really important that I do that and implement it. So I'm very purposeful with what I learn, what I take in. A lot of my content these days that I'm learning is around philosophies and helping people become their best self. The marketing stuff is probably only maybe 30%, to be honest with you, is what I'm learning. There's nothing new that's out there. Just there's different things like AI and all that sort of stuff. But we don't need to know so much of that. Now, if you're growing your business, you don't need a lot of that AI stuff right now. So overloading is one of the big problems. And I know you probably hear a lot of people talk about how you're gonna need a funnel. You need to run ads, go to a landing page, then they go into a funnel. You don't need any of that. Like I've got clients doing, $50,000 a month. Like I said, a client doing 6 figures a month. That's a month without funnels, anything like that. For me, the thing that I always say to people, you don't need SEO, you don't need landing pages, you don't even need a website to start attracting clients. And one of the best things about it is my clients have started to echo those exact words in financial planning forums on Facebook and stuff like that. They say, "Hey, I learned this thing from this guy." That's exactly right because I myself, for the last 5 years, have built my business not on. I built it online, but purely through social media. I don't send email campaigns out. I don't update my website. I don't do SEO. I don't go to networking meetings because I live in Barcelona and I just don't speak the language and confident enough to get to those networking meetings. And plus, I just don't feel like they serve the purpose that I want to. And my impact is greater further wide. So just going back to overloading, the thing that you want to focus on that's going to get your foundations right, and I say get the foundation right, is to make your marketing very simple. A lot of us wants to start running, like running a race without tying our shoelaces. That's probably the best analogy I can give you, is that if you start running without tying your shoelaces, you're going to trip over sometime, right? It's going to get caught. You're going to fall down while everyone else passes you. So get the foundations right, and you start building on from there. And I believe that you don't need those websites, those landing pages. You just need a very simple way of getting clients. And that is by having conversations with people just with your mobile phone. No landing pages, no funnels. You can literally get onto it today to start getting clients on board. So I just want to give you a couple of key things on this as well with overloading. We are too quickly going towards automation. Everyone's going, hey, how do I save time? Oh, let me automate something. But what we don't do enough of is actually understanding what we're automating and what impact is it actually making. So I know a lot of people will go to funnels, they'll try to automate their marketing, they try to take shortcuts. But if you can't give it fuel, it's like growing up, a little puppy. You got to feed it until it grows, and then you can start teaching new tricks. Trouble is, we just want to teach a new trick straight away without really feeding it, which is not a great thing. So, in order to grow your business, let's say to over 15K a month, you just need to have a couple of things: regular activities, right? Content is going to help you do that. Content cadence, right? Regular pieces of content. Now, 1 or 2 pieces of content a week isn't good enough. You need to provide at least 4 pieces of content a week and even show up more on the personal side of it and grow your personal brand over your company brand. So, this little insight I'm giving you there. Because when you focus on your personal brand, people always will get to know you. They will get to like you. They get to trust you rather than a company brand that's out there promoting it. Like I saw a company brand the other day, had all this AI happening with videos and all these different people. And then when you go to their About Us page, none of those people in that AI ad that they're showing on Facebook was in their team. So straight away, there's a element of trust that's completely gone. So you just want to have regular activities to go out there. You don't need marketing campaigns, right? I don't sell marketing campaigns because I know they don't work for financial planners unless you're doing over like, let's say 20,000, 30,000 a month. You want to run webinars and all those different things. That's a totally different strategy. But to get to like even 20K a month, you don't need any of that. Use this very simple plan that I'm about to share with you right now. Your goal, the number one goal, and I shared this at the start, is to have conversations with people. That's what I do with clients. I help them have conversations with people, how to start those conversations, how to keep those conversations going, and how to book those conversations into the calendar so they can then have a one-on-one meeting with someone. So let me give you the very simple 5 steps that I would use if I was for you in the new year and how to run this marketing plan. So, one, get very clear on who you are and how you want to show up. Okay? Your most authentic self, Who you want to help is the next thing. Who do you want to help? What sort of problems that you want to do? And now let me tell you something. The best way to do this is to really focus it on your experience and people you really want to be working with. Don't just chase something where everyone else is doing. Like I know that everyone's chasing 55 plus males and females close to retirement. That market is kind of flooded right now, but everyone's doing it. So you really got to stand out. Now, how I get my clients to stand out is step three, which is create a way to help clients get results. And that is through a signature system, something unique, a unique way of helping your clients get a result by them following your own specific roadmap. This is what's going to get you to stand out. It's also going to get them to trust you so much easier than everyone else that's just talking about a process, but not actually a roadmap. Fourth thing that you want to be doing is create consistent content. Now, there's four types of content that I like to share. One is credibility content, which is like education type content. This is overdone by a lot of financial planners. And I say overdone, like so much about 401ks, this, that, these steps here. You still want to do a little bit of that, but you don't need to be all like, don't always make that your number one thing. But the best way when creating credibility content like that and education content is to debunk some of the myths that are out there. And that's what's actually going to get the credibility content standing out. Next bit of content is character content, your personality. Show up exactly who you are, share everything from drinking black coffee to wearing kind of Christmas jumpers. Share your daily routines if you really want. For me, I have a 5 hour work day. Kids in the morning, gym in the morning, tennis in the morning. In the afternoons, where I do all my client work, and I also have Fridays off. Generally speaking, well, I shouldn't say off, but it's kind of very low key where I just sit back and do my content. So kind of share some of that thing. The next bit of content is case study content where you help you build trust. And it's not necessarily exact results or exact names of people, but what you can be doing is some of the conversations you've had with people throughout the week. Could be a prospect meeting or a client meeting. So giving a little bit of insight into that shows how you tackle the problem, gives people an insight into you and how you think about those problems. And the fourth bit of content is contextual content. What I meant by that is just your philosophies on life. So, for example, I shared today how I believe not so much of going outside your comfort zone, but expanding your comfort zone. So that's my own philosophy that I've developed over the years, and that came about from me coming to Barcelona, and all I cared about was actually going into a comfort zone. Um, so they're the four pieces of content, and you want to do that on a regular basis. But if you can just amp up that character content a little bit more, so maybe 5 pieces, so 2 personality or even 3 personality one on top of the other three would be perfect. And the last but not least, sorry, I'm going to give you one extra. Run ads. When you got your content happening, or let's say you miss content for a day, you're sick, you're going on holidays, you want to run those ads. So you're regularly getting people coming into your chats and you can then grow that business. Knowing how to run those ads, get their attention is so, so important. And I'm going to give you one last one. I talked a little bit about the chat strategy. This to me is so important that a lot of financial planners are so scared to get themselves out there to start the conversation. They come across as thinking, I'm going to be way too salesy and stuff like that. You're salesy because you're trying to sell something. But when you go out there adding value, and I mean real value. So, for example, a lot of my YouTube content, a lot of the PDFs that I have, the lead magnets, these are things that I share with people and say, hey, I created this. Would you like it? So simple. And people go, yes, please send it to me. Then I can have a conversation with someone. It is that simple because say, hey, you've got a problem. I thought this may help you. Would you be interested in seeing it? And they go, yes, right. And then you start the conversation with them. That's all it requires. And what I've just shared with you is, which is kind of the 6 steps. I'll just cover it again. Get clear on your message, on who you are and who you want to show up as. Second thing is, who do you want to show up for, like, as in your audience, and what problem you want to solve. 3 is what's your signature system. 4 is your content strategy and cadence. 5 is run ads. And number 6 is to use a chat strategy. This requires just 2 to 3 hours a week. And you could end up with, honestly, 15K a month. Some of my clients are doing 50K a month using this exact approach. And one of my clients is doing 6 figures a month. Now, 6 figures a month, they're spending a bit more time. They'll probably double those hours on marketing every week. But it's obviously seeing the results. So they actually double down on it. That's how easy it is. And you can just allocate like 20 minutes a day having conversations in chat. To me, that was going to get you where you need to be. Now, going back to chat really quickly, 2 to 3 conversations a day. Now, if you do that for the whole week, let's say 5 days you're working, that's 15 for the week, starting new conversations. And for the month, that's like 60, right? 60 conversations. Out of the 60 conversations you're having, you're gonna, let's say you book 10 people into a meeting, and out of those 10 people you sign 2 clients. Now, yes, the percentage doesn't look great, but those 2 clients is what you need to actually help get yourself confidence, to get yourself out there, to have those conversations, and honestly just to grow the business so you can have the lifestyle that you want. If you want help next year on how to grow your business, how to get leads, and more importantly, how to have conversations and be confident in growing your business, reach out to me. I'm happy to share with you the exact roadmap my clients are using to scale over $15,000 a month. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Lucien Govender. I wish you all the best over this holiday period and hope to hear from you in the new year. Take care for now.